Hi everyone, this is Ali Imran Sheikh and let us discuss about economic planning. For the best understanding, I have divided the definition into 3 points. The first one is the process of setting the goals and then allocate the resources accordingly. The second one is developing a comprehensive strategy to manage the supply chain in the country. The supply chain includes production, distribution, and consumption of goods. The third one states that economic planning can be done uh, at various stages, and the scope can be regional, local, and national as well. And the economic planning itself involves public and private sector participation. We'll discuss this point later on as well. The general example is the first one here mentioned. The Soviet Union is also doing 5-year plans, just like in Pakistan, what we are currently witnessing. The same model is being applied. The second example is a mixed economy. Mixed economy is prevalent approximately all over the world. Every country is using the mixed economy model, and the mixed economy model, every economic model is based on two uh, major components. One is private sector, and the other is public sector. Uh, the country has to decide according to their own feasibility, according to their need, that which sector, which industry should be privatized and which should be nationalized. For example, education, health, and the major sectors like these are normally under the banner of nationalization. Public government manages that, and even the private sector that do uh, cannot be in majority. Their numbers are lesser as compared to the government in management. Whereas the manufacturing, the production, and services like departments, they are mostly being assigned to the private sector. So let's come to the examples that are pertinent to Pakistan. The 5-year plans, as we have discussed here, is a primary example. The Vision 2025, Pakistan government wants to transform a country into industrialized and prosperous nation, and it's a long-term economic planning rather that to take certain measures in a short term eventually have a long-term good prospects of the country. CPAC is also a sort of economic planning where the Gwadar port is linked with China's northwestern region via a network of highways, railways, and pipelines, and that will gonna boost the economic growth and development in Pakistan because it will act as a catalyst in transportation, communication, and industrial zone. National Financial Inclusion Strategy. First of all, let us understand what is financial inclusion. It's like uh, it's like introducing financial products to the areas which are still deprived of that. Financial products means like ATM machines and the banking facilities, etc., etc., online banking, online modes of payment. This doesn't cover all of the country as of now. So financial inclusion means to cover maximum amount of the territories in the country that have this sort of facility, and this indeed is an economic booster as well. Objectives of economic planning. Objectives of economic planning is to improve the economic standards of the country, both in the short and long term. The first one here we can see is economic growth and development. Economic growth means to improve the economic indicators of the country, for example, GDP, GNP, national income, per capita income, etc. Whereas the development is when these economic indicators are successful in translating their improvement in the living standards of people, so it becomes development when the result of the improvement of economic growth are felt by the people, the residents of the country, then that means that the country is developing. Equity and social justice is also something very pertinent. Equity means justice, and equality means to get equal. The example can be a two qualified persons, different qualification persons doing the same job are getting the same amount of salary is equality. It's not equity. Equity will be their remuneration, their salary must be in accordance with their education and qualification, experience, etc. So that will be equity. Equity means justice. A person gets what he deserves. Equality means just to distribute things equally. So the example can be the job market. If nowadays we see that it's a source of discouragement in professional life, people don't go for jobs, rather they prefer business because businessmen are prosperous and they are having accumulating the maximum amount of wealth. So what government can do in this regard is to impose taxes, to levy taxes on businessmen, and the revenues that it gets then plan to invest in the job sector market by raising their salaries, remuneration. So the salary market will also be on the prosperous track. So the people will also get encouraged for jobs and then as well. So these are some examples. Some the other points are very self-explanatory. Regional development, the developments of the region can also be done through economic planning, industrialization and modernization. This can also be done through economic planning. Export promotion is taking measures to improve the manufacturing in the country. The amount of production should be excessive enough to make the exports possible. The environmental sustainability, it's a bit of concern for the today's world because the environment is constantly and perpetually and rapidly changing. So there are many changes and many challenges waiting us ahead. The private sector and public sector we have discussed before. The balance between the two is the key for a good economic system. So that was it. We'll meet you in the next lecture. It's bye. Allah Hafiz.